Okay, so this, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do this.
Good morning, everyone. This is Commissioner Bell. Today is Tuesday, January 20th, 2026, and we'll call this meeting to order at 8 a.m. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone to mute your phones. You can do this by pressing star 6. Please unmute yourself when called to speak, again pressing star 6. It's very important for all others to remain muted. Thank you. Well, we'll call this meeting to order and start with Commissioners' board roll call. So, Commissioner Fournier, are you with us this morning? Commissioner Scar, are you with us this morning? Is anyone able to hear me right now?
I can hear you, Commissioner.
Oh, good. So I'm not sure where my fellow commissioners are, but let's start with Eric Swanson and Adventist Tillamook. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. 11 patients in the hospital today. Friday, we did 2 surgery cases. Yesterday, our ambulance crews did 9 911 transports, no transfers, 2 transports home. And that's all the information I've got for you this morning, unless you've got questions for me.
I do not have questions. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
I hope you have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Let's move. Thank you. We'll move on to the Coastal Caucus. Do we have Representative Javity with us this morning? Or Senator Weber? Well, if they are able to join us late, we will check back in with them, and we'll move on now to Tillamook County Community Health Center and Camille.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. Many people have limited views of what human trafficking is, what it looks like, or who it happens to. It's critical to understand that how human trafficking can show up in our community and who is at heightened risk. The reality is that anyone can be trafficked, but there are factors to put one at an increased risk for trafficking. Risk factors include race. People of color are more likely to be trafficked, being part of the LGBTQ plus community, having an unstable living situation, a history of domestic violence, substance use disorder for yourself or family, involvement in juvenile justice or foster care systems, undocumented immigration status, facing poverty or economic need, or a history of sexual abuse. When we hear human trafficking, it is likely that sex trafficking comes to mind. Although it is significant, human trafficking can most broadly be defined as the use of force, fraud, or coercion to get another person to provide labor or commercial sex. Labor trafficking poses a massive risk, particularly for undocumented workers. In this month, consider supporting our partner, Tides of Change, who supports survivors of human trafficking here in Tillamook County. Finally, I just want to give a reminder that we will be hosting an all-ages vaccine clinic on Sunday, February 22nd, from 12 noon until 4 p.m. at our central clinic location in Tillamook, located at 801 Pacific Avenue. It is a walk-in clinic, so no appointments are necessary, and it's open to all ages. This community vaccine clinic takes place just prior to Oregon Immunization Exclusion Day. That's on the 25th. And that is all I have for everyone today.
Thank you, Camille. I'm wondering if next week you can talk to us a little bit about the flu season, just because I've been hearing and reading that this is a particularly active flu season, and it'd be interesting for our community to have some numbers on that.
Sure, I will work on that for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Gail.
A couple of announcements from the Nehalem Bay Health Center and Pharmacy in Wheeler. First of all, our outreach team will be participating in the upcoming Houseless Connect hosted by CARE. This is on Wednesday, January 28th at the Sacred Heart Church in Tillamook from 10 to 2. This event brings together Tillamook resource providers under one roof, creating a one-stop shop so folks can connect with the services they need all on the same day at the same location. While this event is organized with the houseless community in mind, everyone is welcome to attend. And second, the Tillamook County Transportation District has finalized the changes that they needed to make sure that our new facility is a transportation vehicle stop for the community, and so that is great news. And just a reminder, our clinic hours are 8 to 6 p.m. and our pharmacy is 9 to 5:30, open during lunch. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to call us at 800-368-5182 for more information. So thank you.
Thank you, Gail. I wanted to mention that this weekend I had the opportunity to go to Senator Merkley's town hall where the Nehalem Bay Health District was honored, and it was just outstanding. The district chairman, Mark Johnson, was there, as well as a couple of board members, Debbie Moberly and Jackie Hinton, and they went up to the stage with Senator Merkley, and they talked about how Mark talked about how Senator Merkley was instrumental in helping procure the funding for the new health clinic and pharmacy. And Senator Merkley presented them with a flag that had been flown over the Capitol, and it was really a celebration of the health district and of your facility and your operation. So I wanted to mention that this morning. It was really delightful to see your work recognized there.
So thank you so much. It was definitely a special event. I was on my way back from Portland traveling and was delayed, so I did not see the ceremony, but I certainly was able to join the group and participate in the Merkley's town hall. So thank you for that update. I was wondering how it went, and I'm so sorry that I missed it. But yes, I knew it was happening, and I was very excited for the health district. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was wonderful. Well, let's move on to Tillamook Family Counseling Center and Amanda Bunger.
Good morning, everyone. This is Amanda.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't have a whole lot to report. We were closed yesterday, but we have right around 600 open patients that we are currently serving. But the one thing I did want to remind folks is that we do have the ability to see individuals in person for medication management and prescribing. 3 days a week, we have someone in office. And so that's a change from purely telehealth or seeing people via the computer and whatnot. So I just want to put that out into the community for individuals who would like to see someone in person. We have someone here ready to serve you 3 days a week.
That's wonderful news, Amanda. Thank you.
Yeah,
It's interesting about it's interesting about telehealth that some people are just very uncomfortable with the idea of doing it remotely, and I imagine that telehealth works better for some situations than others. But other folks, particularly young people, but not exclusively, have gotten used to doing things remotely and don't mind at all.
Yes, completely. And on that note, we do offer telehealth therapy for, like you said, individuals who would rather do that. So we do have a lot of options, but I do know that there was some voices in the community who really were wanting someone, to sit down with someone and see them face to face. And so we really tried our best to accommodate that and get somebody in who could see folks more frequently. I think we were doing 1 day a week, and now we have 3. So that's That's really a benefit. And again, for adults and children. And so if you are seeing individuals who that might be a great fit for, go ahead and send us a referral and we will triage that.
Wonderful. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, let's move on to emergency management and Randy Thorpe. Do we have Randy online this morning? I know he's been doing a lot of trainings this month, but I didn't memorize all the days. Well, perhaps not. Let me check in and see if Commissioner Fournier has been able to join us. This is going to be a quick meeting. Well, I can give folks a brief update on things I'm working on. We are getting ready to launch strategic planning for Tillamook County Parks, which is very exciting. So Tillamook County Parks has, folks may or may not know, has 6 campgrounds, 21 boat launches, and a number of day use areas. That number is not in my head right at the second, but a lot of them. And they're popular. All of them are popular. Fishing is very popular here. Camping is very popular. You know, people want to be able to come to the coast and camp at the coast. So Barview Jetty Campground is extremely successful. And in fact, it carries the water for the other campgrounds. The second most successful campground is Webb in Pacific City. So, you know, no coincidence that it's the two campgrounds right on the beach that are the most successful. There's also a gorgeous campground up Trask and up Kilchis. They are gems. They're just beautiful. And there's a little tiny campground in Pacific City at Woods, and also Whalen Island, which is absolutely gorgeous. And if anybody listening hasn't been to Whalen Island, you ought to go, if not to camp, then at least to walk around the island. It's a little tiny island in the Sand Lake estuary, and there's a walking trail that's relatively easy, and it's not perfectly flat, but it's not strenuous, and it's short. It might be a mile or a mile and a half. It's just pleasant and so, so beautiful. So that is a local treasure that I have discovered not everybody knows about. So, and we have a lot of boat launches, some of which the county owns, some they manage for other owners, such as Department of Fish and Wildlife and Oregon Parks and Rec District. And so we're looking at how we can make more investments in parks to improve the quality of our facilities for locals and visitors alike. And something that people may not know about parks, they don't always seem to know, is that our property tax dollars don't go to support parks. Some years ago, maybe 15-ish or more, the Board of Commissioners at that time let parks know, you know, they were then, as we are now, dealing with declining timber revenues, and they let parks know that they needed to operate as a business and sink or swim, essentially, like, you know, pay for yourselves with fees because we can't use property taxes or the general fund anymore. So that's still true of parks. So sometimes we hear from people like, our property taxes pay for those parks, but actually they don't. The fees, it's a user-based service, so it's operated like a business. And so we would like to make some strategic investments. So we're going to start the strategic planning process. I'm convening the group. I sent a bunch of people invitations last week, and I think we'll have our first meeting at the end of this month. And it's very exciting to think about what are the opportunities to build a new campground on the beach, and what are the opportunities to upgrade the campgrounds that we have, and you know, things that are ideas in my mind, and who knows how they'll come out in terms of strategic planning. But things that are ideas in my mind is there's an upper loop at Kilchis that was started at one point in the past and not completed, and that's terrific potential for something. You know, it could be a private camp, like a group campsite could be wonderful for that, because every year groups contact the county and say, hey, can we bring 20 people or 80 people, or, groups are looking for places to camp. So there's terrific potential there, and Kilchis is gorgeous. And there's potential at Trask also. Trask is gorgeous, and there's a lot of opportunity there. So I am very excited to get to work on strategic planning for parks, and we have a group of people signed up to help us, and that's just one exciting thing I'm working on currently and looking forward to. And I think the weather coincides with my excitement about strategic planning for parks, because it was such a joy to be outside this weekend. So I hope everybody got a chance to be out in the sun and either do something fun or do chores. I was doing chores, but they were a pleasure because the weather was so beautiful. So with that, I will move on to the cities and start with the city of Manzanita. I believe I heard Linda Kozlowski online earlier. Are you with us, Linda?
Good morning. I am here.
Good
Morning. I was just delighted to hear about your strategic planning around parks. That's just a wonderful thing to do and a real asset we have. One of the things that the city of Manzanita is doing for the first time in a long time is we have identified 3 strategic objectives to work on this year. The first is asset management, and that's understanding what our assets are and how best to use them. This will be kind of our first foray into that area, and we're really looking forward to finding out what our options are. The second is diversification of funding, which is critical for all of us, but we have done some work on that, and we're looking at progressing fairly significantly in that arena. And the last, and obviously the one I'm most excited about, is a strategic plan around how the city can become better prepared and our community can become better prepared. So the third is emergency preparedness, which allows us to focus this year on 3 really important issues for us. And I am just delighted. It's been really encouraged by Mayor Stock and her kind of experience in working around these areas. So we're really excited about that. After a lot of work, we have finally passed our Manzanita Land Division Ordinance. It was adopted in this last city council meeting, and it includes work around subdivisions, land partitioning, new regulations about property boundaries, adjustments, partitions, subdivisions, and expediting land divisions and middle housing land divisions, which is really also an important next step. As you may recall, we had a minor crisis in terms of a potential landslide, and our landslide has been fully contained, and we are working on soil stabilization, and it should go forth pretty well. I mean, we're really pleased with where we are. Classic Street is a major connector and provides direct access to our 60-unit affordable housing project. It is also upgrading access to major utilities as part of that project. Classic Street is progressing on schedule, and the roadway is still closed and will be closed for a while, but it allows us to upgrade this major connector, and it's something we've wanted to do for years. Our comprehensive plan is updated. We started that last year. It is updated and on schedule with the goal to complete the update by the end of this year. Our Public Advisory Steering Committee is meeting today reviewing the final set of policies before our next community meeting, which we hope to have scheduled in March. Otherwise, we're making great progress, and our goal is to complete it by the end of this year. Lastly, we do have an open position on our budget committee. The application should be on the website, the City of Manzanita website this week, and we're hoping to get some good applicants for our budget committee. And with that, unless there are questions, that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Linda. I appreciate your report, and your strategic planning goals are exciting. So thanks for sharing them with the community.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, do we have anybody online from Nehalem or Wheeler? We do not have Mayor McNeely with us today. He let me know he wasn't available. How about Garibaldi or Bay City?
Good morning, Commissioner Bell. This is Mayor Leanne Welch.
Good morning, Mayor.
Let's see, this morning at 9:30, there's the Coffee with the Mayor and City Manager at Bay City Hall, and all are welcome. Last week, I want to thank you for the Board of County Commissioners. We had the first of 2 public hearings to place a new fire district between the Bay City Fire Department and the Tillamook Fire District on the May ballot. The second public hearing is scheduled for February 11th at 9:45. And I support the proposal for a ballot measure for a new Tillamook Bay Fire District, and it looks at the long-term sustainability of emergency and fire response to our communities. So again, I really appreciate your time. I look forward to the next public hearing. Then Thursday, January 29th at 5 p.m., we're going to hold a community workshop. The purpose of this workshop is to gather information from the public on a proposed one-time urban growth boundary expansion. We're at the property, it's about 20 acres, located near the intersection of Bewley Street and Vaughan Road. The land added to the city through this process, if passed, requires a minimum 30% of housing units to be affordable. And affordable in this context is based on a household of 4 making 80% of the area median income if they are renting, or 130% of the area median income if they're purchasing a home. So the community is welcome to give us our feedback and what they want to see or what they fear, and we're just there as a listening session. So we're looking forward to that and starting our notice. And those are the main things we have going on in Bay City this week. So thank you.
Those are exciting things. Thank you. I'm glad you brought up the fire district meeting. That was just such a dynamic meeting. I'd like to talk about it with you for a minute. The room was packed full of supporters. There were, everyone in attendance was supportive, and there was just such a great cross section of people from business people to firefighters to all kinds of folks there to support the idea of the new district. And I learned a bunch of stuff in that meeting. For example, I did know that the Tillamook Fire District was formed decades ago and that it's drastically underfunded, but I didn't know that it was formed in 1993 and at the time, and their funding has been static since then. So at the time they had 8 full-time employees, and now they have 1 full-time employee and a couple of part-time employees, because 1993 dollars don't do anything like what they did then. Now don't do anything like what they did then. So that was a real eye opener for me to have the numbers to go with my general knowledge, and it was just, I was very encouraged by all of the support for the new district, and I wondered if you wanted to say anything more about that.
Just excited, 1 full-time fire chief and a couple of part-time for the number of calls that we're getting here for Tillamook is just not sustainable. And we have an intergovernmental agreement between the Bay City Fire Department currently with Tillamook that we are helping them out in this time of transition as they're trying to figure it out. And since we are 2 bordering properties, so it'd include all the Bay City and then all of what's now currently in the Tillamook Fire District. So it will be, responding to, I think, over 18,000 residents that live in that area. And we just need a sustainable program and district that can support our needs, especially as we move forward with more visitors and people moving to our community. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. And very exciting news about potentially expanding the UGB in order to build more housing. So thank you and everybody in the city for moving that work forward.
Thank you.
And with that, let's move on to the city of Tillamook and Sean Lewis.
Good morning, Commissioner. We've
Good
got
morning.
some exciting things today. One, this week, the survey that we've been talking about for our residents should be hitting your mailbox. Remember, this will come in an envelope marked RCAC with the green logo. And we hope that all those who receive the survey will take the time to fill it out. Again, we need a 90% response rate in order for this to be considered valid. So only about 300 of our residents will be getting it, but if you know somebody that's got it, please help encourage them to respond and get it back into us. Tonight, our city council will be holding our regular council meeting, shifted from last night to tonight because of the holiday. At 6 o'clock, we will be having a stakeholder meeting regarding a revision to our camping and ordinance about camping within the city. Staff has been working diligently based on some comments that we've received from the public on how we might be able to change some of our enforcement on some of these issues. And so we've got a stakeholder meeting tonight that is open to the public beginning at 6 o'clock at City Hall, where we'll be able to take some comment and kind of guide some discussion there. Following that, our City Council will hold their regular meeting where we are intending to potentially award a bid for our water line project. This is the project that required us to raise water rates and have us to move the water line from under the air runway at the port and to provide resiliency to our system. This is a very, very strategic project, and we're excited to be able to award the bid. And just for the benefit of those listening, our bids did come in lower than expected, which is great news. And then finally, our city council will be holding a retreat on Saturday to be discussing their council goals and objectives for the next year or so. And that'll be an exciting meeting for our council to get together. We still have 2 open council seats. So if you want to have opportunity to, and you live in Tillamook and specific boundaries in Tillamook, then we have opportunity for you to serve and make your voice heard in one of our most important boards, our city council, that gets to guide and direct the vision and plan of the city. So we're very excited to see who might apply for those roles. But that's our report. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Sean. I wanted to mention that Sean and I were both at a meeting for local leaders with Senator Merkley prior to his town hall. And Sean was thanking Senator Merkley for helping secure funding for the water project. Do you want to talk about that for just a minute? Because I thought it was fascinating.
It is fascinating. So it's kind of an interesting thing, and I'm not sure how much I can say right now, but for several years, the city has been working with the senator's office to secure a federal earmark for an infusion of funds for this project. And on Thursday, we received notification from the senator's office that the bill had passed through both houses, both the House of Representatives and the Senate, and that it was going to the president's desk for signature. And in this day and age, nothing goes to the president's desk for signature that we don't anticipate will be signed. So I don't have whether it was actually signed or not, but we anticipate that it was. And this would bring several $1 million to the city to help us with this project. Now, what that means is that the first phase of the project will be fully funded through our ARPA funds and this earmark. Plus, we'll have a good start on phase 2. Now, I know the natural inclination is to say, well, why'd you have to raise water rates for the loan if you've got this funding, which is totally understandable. But until we get through phase 2, which our master plan told us we needed to do both phase 1 and phase 2, and the loan that we got from Business Oregon of $7.2 million was to help with both. So until we get phase two, we may not be able, we may still have to raise water rates as part of our assessment for paying for these projects in order to do the debt service on that loan. But for right now, what it means is that we don't have to access any of the Business Oregon funds for this phase one. And that loan that we have is we only pay back what we actually use of it. So this allows us to not use any of it for a while, which is a benefit to our residents. But this goes back to the survey. We're not eligible for several financial products because of our the way our demographics are shaped from the Census Bureau. And so doing the survey that I've mentioned for the last several weeks is going to help us make sure that we are eligible for every financial product that we can. And we hope to do this through grants and fundings, not through loans. But we have to do the project. So we're looking and overturning every rock, looking through every couch cushion, every nook and cranny to find every penny we can, so we don't have to put this burden on our residents. But this money from the Senator Merkley has helped us to achieve goes a long, long way to helping us with that.
That is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, both the funding opportunity and the process. And it's just so important. It's so important to the city of Tillamook and therefore the, community of Tillamook. And I'm really encouraged. I'm encouraged by that news. Thank you.
You are welcome.
All right. Is there anyone that wasn't able to get on when I called their names earlier who'd like to jump in now? Final call. All right. With that, then we will adjourn this meeting at 8:31 a.m. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, as always, KTIL for broadcasting, and thanks, everyone, for participating. Have a great day.